Hey, welcome everybody to our Thursday coffee break.
Yes, welcome everybody. As per usual, it's about 110 degrees here at Third Space, and Dan just turned up the air again.
That's not true. It's 74. But we did turn up the air so that the air does not kick on and we have a bunch of background noise.
I shouldn't pick on you. If you've ever been to Third Space before, sometimes when the air kicks on, it can get a little noisy, so we're just kind of make it so everybody can hear okay. But yeah, welcome everybody. It is really good to be back here this morning.
Yes.
Do you want to give everybody some updates on the kind of things that are going on in Third Space? So Third Space is still not open yet, and I know I've been getting a lot of comments about that. We don't have any new updates on when we're going to be doing an opening, but we are actively talking about lots of possibilities with that. But there are some things that are going on here using the space, even while the cafe is technically closed. There's some cool things going on. So
yeah, we've been trying to use the space to do ministry. So we have a lot of groups that still meet, or a few groups that meet here in the cafe area. Actually, we've set it up in here so that we can do Zoom calls. So not only do groups meet in person, but then they also allow for people at their homes, those who aren't comfortable coming out yet, to Zoom in to the different Bible discussion groups that we have. And we have a men's group that meets on Wednesday at 7 p.m. We also have a women's group that meets here on Fridays, and I believe that meets around 4, p.m. So yeah, and we're really talking about starting to use the space again for a teen game night, which we did before all the restrictions. So I think our team really wants to get back to doing that. In fact, we've had some kids come up, some youth come up the last 4 weeks or so to our dinners that we're doing here, and just asking, hey, when are you guys getting the team thing going again?
Yeah, so we had some killer games of Monopoly going on, let me just tell you. They would go on for hours and hours. It was something else. So having a lot of fun. Doing simple things too. So really fun with the kids, getting to know them better. Yep. Tell me about the outdoor seating thing. How's that going?
Yeah, so we just started doing outdoor seating 2 weeks ago.
For dinner church.
For dinner church.
For dinner church only. So yeah.
For the community dinners that we do. And that's been going well. I feel like people are enjoying just hanging around, sitting down, eating with others. Not everybody does. Some people take their meal and just go, and that's fine too. But I think people really appreciate it. We've had comments, even had people send us emails and stuff saying, hey, thanks for doing the seating. It was really needed. So
there's something very just human about being able to sit down and eat with somebody. And so as much as we support the need for social distancing and we want to follow guidelines, it very much makes you feel like a human being again, just to sit down with somebody and share a meal together. We're being as careful as we can with that, obviously, but we're really grateful to be able to start to share our lives with people again. It's a gift. Yeah. So yeah, anything else on that comes to mind?
I don't think so. Why don't you tell them what
what
season this is that you so enjoy?
Yeah, no, totally jumping topic here. But we were just actually talking last night that if you're a foodie like I am, it's strawberry season, and there's a lot of orchards and places that are doing strawberry pickings and stuff. And one of our elders here, the leaders of Common Ground, Greg, makes a strawberry custard pie. It's ridiculous, and I mean that in the best possible way. It's so delicious, and he makes these strawberry custard pies. And we were at a picnic not so long ago where one of those came, and let me just tell you, the pie doesn't stick around very long. It's gone instantly. But loving strawberry season. And when I was growing up, my mom always used to make those fresh strawberry pies too that were they're just out of this world. And Mom, if you're watching, we used to have those whole wheat crusts that my mom would make, and there was something about a whole wheat crust with the strawberry pie. It almost was like a graham cracker feel. So I have a memory of that, a very vivid one, Mom, if you're watching. But strawberry season is great. Peaches are coming up next. So if you're a foodie like me, we might have to jump on the fruit bandwagon soon and start doing a little bit more food stuff again with our live streams, and we can maybe demo that custard pie, because I think that's an easy home recipe. And we got a question. We should jump in on that. So we got a question. What is dinner church?
Yeah, so good question, Guy. If you haven't heard about dinner church, also known as community dinners, but we rented out the Borough Hall prior to all the COVID restrictions. For about 3 years we did this, and every Sunday at 5 o'clock we had a free dinner. It was really a banquet, actually, and really good food, awesome community.
The best food and the best community.
Yeah, so people from the community just joined in and came up, and we all sat down together, had a meal together, and we just let people know. On every little table was a little placard that said, hey, if you stick around after the meal, we're going to share a story about Jesus. And so we did that, and I would say most people stuck around. There were a few that would leave, but not many. Usually most people just stuck around, and so we ate together. Great community building atmosphere, very hospitable atmosphere, but also shared what what we're very passionate about, and what we believe strongly in, that changes hearts and changes, we believe changes communities and stuff, and that's the gospel of Jesus Christ. So
absolutely.
Yeah, that's dinner church. Some people call it community dinner, but same thing.
Yeah, same concept and super fun. That has been going on all through COVID, though it's kind of had to change some forms just due to restrictions and us trying to be as safe and protective as possible of people. But we're here and we love our community. It's been a privilege. So.
So he asked, does everybody bring something? That's another good question. No, we did have a food team, and the food team kind of decides, like, they have planned out weeks in advance who's going to do what, and there's the handful of people that are cooking. One person will cook the main dish, others will bring side dishes.
Yeah, so we actually have, and I can jump in a little bit on this as one of the food team preparers. The goal is to just be a blessing. So we believe that God's grace is just free and abundant, and so as much as we love, I love potlucks. Potlucks are great, but we just wanted to share, we wanted to provide and just put a lavish banquet in front of folks, something where nothing is really required of them. They can just come and be with us, and we can share together. So it's kind of just really geared a little bit differently. So
Now there are some others that did help make meals. So some folks that said, hey, we love what you guys are doing, can we help you do the meals? And yes, they have done that. So that was a huge blessing to our team, because like I said, for 3 years every Sunday our team was doing this, so it was great to have some of that break.
Oh yeah, it's wonderful to have a blessing, people that come alongside us. And we've had some folks from the community as well that have come alongside working with the food team to help prepare some things. People that in the community that have just enjoyed what we're doing and they want to be a part of it. So
good morning, Wanda. Good to see you this morning.
So great question. I have a question for you guys in return now. We had fun doing a compare and contrast episode a couple weeks ago where we talked about some coffee stir-ins, like some French vanilla creamers and stuff that were fun. And I thought it was kind of fun to do that compare and contrast. We had a good response to that video. We're thinking about doing more of them. So I'm curious if you guys have anything that you associate with a coffee house, or just anything that you associate with, food and beverages, that you would love us to do another compare and contrast for you, so we can let you know what's out there and what we think is the best. If you have any ideas, we are totally open to that. So add it to the comments, and we would love to bring that into consideration for future episodes of compare and contrast.
Yeah, and if you want to know what we thought was the best creamers for your coffee, you have to go back to the previous couple videos. It was like 2 videos ago or something.
Yeah.
But I think you'll find it titled on our YouTube channel, on Facebook too. So
for sure.
Yeah.
And so at this point, partly because I need to go fan myself, but I'm going to step out of the frame. We're going to bring in the next step going into our Barista series, because we have another special guest today that I'm going to let Dan introduce to you. And I'm going to go fan myself. It's been wonderful being with everybody. So I'm going to step out.
So before I introduce our next barista to you, I want to just mention that next week there will be no live stream, and we just will not be around in town, and didn't want to just do a pre-recorded video. So next week no live stream, but the following week after that we'll pick back up, and maybe that'll be the compare and contrast, or maybe we'll have another barista here as well that we can interview. So the barista I want to introduce to you is Ken Cole. Some of you, I'm sure, that if you visited Third Space, you would have seen him here. And Ken and I are really good friends. I like to tell the story that back about 15, 16 years ago, when I first came to York, I had applied for a job at a local church where Ken was one of the staff, or one of the, he was on the board that was bringing in this new person. So I got interviewed by him and some others, and he grilled me, gave me some of these tough questions. And so I said, now I get to grill you. So welcome, Ken.
All right, and I'm going to turn the screen here, so bear
Thank
with
you,
us. I'm going to just turn this around, Ken. All right,
This is the ultimate payback.
That's right. Well, Ken, just to start out, tell us how you got involved with Common Ground and Third Space.
Well, I've actually been involved with both of them from the inception. I know that coming back from mission trips, Dan and our other brother in faith, Greg, just got inspired. Well, what could we do here in our community to reveal Jesus and seek the welfare of the community? And so we started a number of different events and projects, and ultimately it turned into what is Common Ground today. So that was the first step in that. And then as we moved forward with Common Ground, looking for a number of ways to either fund the ministry or provide a safe space for people to gather in the community, we came up with the idea of a marketplace ministry, and that is what birthed Third Space Coffee House.
Awesome. Now, what made you want to actually do the baristaing yourself, to become a barista?
Well, I've always loved coffee houses. I love to watch the baristas work, and I thought it'd just be a lot of fun. So when we did this project, I definitely wanted to be a volunteer barista. And I am proof that anyone can do it. So if you want to be a barista, go ahead and give it a shot.
And you told me something about latte art.
Oh yeah, I've always been wanting to do the latte art, and I would go to coffee houses like in Philadelphia or La Colombe and watch these artists just create this artwork on these coffee cups. I haven't been to the class yet, but one of my bucket list goals is to take a latte art class.
So what was it like then? Talk about when you first started doing barista. Was it what you thought, or how challenging was it? What?
Yeah, I think it is challenging, but it's also a lot of fun. I think it's been really enjoyable making a beverage and having someone say, wow, this is really great. It's much better than bleep. Yeah. Those other people.
Yeah, so one of the things that Ken and I used to laugh at is maybe it's a guy thing, but we cannot do two things at once. So it was hard to make a drink and then talk to people, which we really wanted to talk to people, but so we would laugh about that.
It's impossible to take orders and work at the same time and do the drinks, because we always get confused, like who's getting what?
Yeah.
Who's on first?
Right. So what's your favorite, or one of your favorite Third Space memories?
Well, probably a memory that's still really fond to me is when we were transforming the building that we're in and following the design that the designer laid out for us, and actually getting it put together. That was a lot of fun. And also the open house we did in the very beginning. We had such a great turnout of well-wishers, and it was just a great event.
Okay. So, did you have something?
No, I'm just, can you find out if people are people still seeing us? Because I'm getting comments that we lost connection.
I can tell you in a second. No, we're still
streaming?
live.
All right, so it must be on their end. No worries. Let's keep going.
I thought I broke the camera.
Keep going. You're good.
That wouldn't surprise me.
You're good.
Yeah. Okay. I think we're still live. So, tell us, what do you do when you're not volunteering at Third Space or Common Ground?
I'm actually self-employed, and I do Medicare supplement plans. I'm a broker for companies.
Okay. And what are some of your hobbies? What are the things you do when you're not working?
Well, probably my biggest hobby is in the summer. I love working in my yard. I love just kind of moving things around and trimming the yard and planting things. And I love working outside.
Okay. And what would be one of your favorite movies or books?
Well, I watch movies, but I read a lot of books, so it's hard to pin it down. I've got a lot of favorite books of faith by people like maybe Francis Chan, David Platt, if you've heard of him. Erwin McManus was one of the first authors I read that was really inspiring. But I also love a lot of history books. Love a lot of biographies, particularly early American leaders, Adams, reading one on Monroe right now. Really great stuff like that. I love to read a lot about business people. My favorite book probably is called The Trust, and it's about the New York Times. It's a family-held trust, still owned by the same family today, and a gentleman named Adolph Ox, who had a little paper in Chattanooga, bought the New York Times out of bankruptcy 160 years ago now, and turned it into what it is today.
And we've taken some vacations together, but tell me what would be one of your favorites?
Well, we have had a lot of good vacations together, and I think every time I take a vacation, it becomes my favorite. But probably, so my latest favorite vacation has been in March. I went to Spain with my younger son. We had an incredible time, and it was amazing. Everything was perfectly timed. We had no idea about the COVID shutting anything down, but our flight coming home was booked for 1 o'clock in the afternoon on March 13th, the last day that before the lockdown. So we got to see everything we wanted to see, small crowds, just a great time. So yeah, that's my favorite now.
Awesome. And do you have a favorite Bible verse?
Well, I probably do have a lot of different favorite ones. My favorite books, though, of the Bible are probably Hebrews and maybe James, are the two favorite books of the Bible, particularly in Hebrews chapters 11 and 12, about people of great faith and hope.
Wonderful. All right, well then tell us what you're going to be making today.
Okay, I'm going to be making my favorite coffee drink, which is a caramel macchiato. Now, the macchiato that I make is more like the latte, and there is like an Italian macchiato that has less milk, but being a little bit of a sweet tooth, I like a little bit more milk in it than what you would call a traditional macchiato. And probably anywhere you go today in coffee houses, most likely you're not getting an Italian macchiato, you're getting the version more like a latte. So I'm going to do that. If I can find out what I'm doing here. First thing I'm going to do is draw the shots. And this is one thing about being a barista that was probably the most difficult in the beginning, was learning how to pull the shot and how to tamp it so that when you start to draw it, it comes out correctly. So, which I hope I did it right this time.
I can attest he did a perfect draw earlier.
I did one a few minutes ago, it was perfect. With the macchiato, we're going to do 2 different shots, because you're going to pour one in first, add the flavor and the milk, and then put the second shot in the top. Makes it like a spotted drink. And you just gave me that information. I love it.
Daisy says she wants you to send one her way.
All right, it's on the way. Okay, now that
Beautiful.
started pretty soon, and they both started pretty even. So that's a good sign.
Beautiful.
I'm going to pull the milk out. Get that ready. I'm using whole milk. A lot of people like the skinny drinks, which would be the sugar-free syrup and the low-fat milk. Basically, I'm thinking, why bother? Let's just have the whole thing. All right. So, do the first shot first.
That's funny.
And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the syrup, and we're going to use 4 shots of the syrup here, 4 pumps. Okay? And then I'm going to froth the milk. One of the things that I learned in the beginning is that, and I was doing this wrong in the beginning, but you're supposed to pull this and get the water out of the steamer before you actually put it in the milk. Now, there shouldn't be a whole lot of that noise if you're doing it correctly. And then you heat the milk, you have your hand on it so you can tell pretty much how hot it's getting. Because you definitely want the milk hot enough. I hate to get a latte or a macchiato that the water is not, the milk is not hot enough. So we'll take the milk, and I'm going to pour it in there, and we get a little bit of foam on the top. And then I'm going to take the second shot, pour it right in the center, and if you look, it gives sort of like a sort of more spotty, but a spotted look to the drink itself. Now, the ultimate test. come on over. This is great. So that's the caramel macchiato.
Fantastic.
Awesome. So, well, hey, we do love our caramel macchiatos, and again, if you could tell us for the next time that we do our live coffee break, which won't be next week, remind you, but it'll be the week after, and we may be doing a compare and contrast. So let us know what are the things that you might like us to compare and contrast that has to do with coffee and so forth, and also. Yeah, I guess that's it. I was thinking I had something else in my mind that I was going to mention, but
Gotta get back on
I'm
the
glad there's no more questions unless the audience has questions.
yeah, I didn't really ask Ken any real hard ones. I was trying to think, what could I ask him?
Come on now.
I
You're
didn't-
supposed to grill, right?
I didn't grill him. No, so
That macchiato looks outstanding. It's making me salivate. I'm not joking. That wasn't a very dignified thing to say on camera, but I want one now. So anyways, but we are so glad you joined us for live stream today. We hope you have a great day. So thanks for being with us, and we leave you with blessings and peace in the name of Jesus again. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye-bye.